Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. Today we're going to be talking about every movie I watched last week, and Mel will be joining today because we watched 7 movies together last week. We had a pretty good movie week, and actually I had a pretty good week compared to the past 2 weeks. I watched 13 movies, which is surprisingly low for me, especially with how I had started the year, but with this new job I've been actually working and just can't watch as many movies, so... real quick, I do want to mention, we haven't done a Mel Monday in, I think it's been about a month.
Yeah.
If we're not feeling it, we're just not going to do it. This has always been my motto for YouTube. If I don't want to upload videos, then I'm not going to. And Mel's the same way. I'm not going to pressure her. She's not going to pressure me. So we'll eventually do one again, I'm sure, but...
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, so the first... the first 5 movies that I watched this week, or well, not the first 5, but the 5 bottom movies that I watched this week were all without Mel.
It just shows how great taste I have and how when I pick movies, they end up at the top.
You picked like 2 of these movies.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Alright, anyways, let's get into it. My least favorite watch of the week was the 2024 release Spaceman, which I just thought was really odd. Adam Sandler was hugging a giant spider in the middle of space.
Okay.
Not a Mel movie.
No.
It was fine. It was alright. Just like pretty much every 2024 movie I've watched this year, it was just fine. So, kidding? Yeah, it was fine. I ranked it a 52 out of 100, so it's clearly nothing too special. But we'll move on to Damsel, which, yet again, another just fine 2024 release.
I told him that he should watch this movie when I saw it came out because it had Millie Bobby Brown. But I knew it wasn't going to be a me movie, so...
Yeah, my biggest complaint with this movie is that the entire movie was just dark. I just couldn't see anything if it was in the cave. It was just really dark, and it was hard to see what was going on. And, again, I mean, it was just fine. I did think it was a little bit interesting, so that's why it's higher than Spaceman at a 59 out of 100. But overall, it still gets that 2.5 stars. I didn't really think anything of it, and I think that's my literal like average rating of 2024 movies so far. It's a 2.5 or a 3.
That's terrible.
And I've watched 18 2024 movies so far, so yeah, it hasn't been a great start. But let's literally continue the trend with another 2024 release, but this one's actually kind of high, and this is one I would have watched with Mel because it was a true crime documentary. It was Lover, Stalker, Killer, which again, actually, Mel recommended.
I recommended this, I guess YouTuber Vine star that I follow, Matt King, had watched this with his wife, and they had ranked it really high and said it was really good, so I told Ethan he should watch it.
Yeah, and you know what? It was pretty good. I ranked it a 75 out of 100, and it was absolutely... Like, that situation of having someone just catfish as another person and trying to ruin your life is horrifying, you know?
Yeah.
And I think Mel would have really enjoyed it because she is a big fan of true crime, so... Every
girl is, let's be honest.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it, so it's literally my 3rd highest 2024 release out of 75. So again, nothing too special, nothing too great, nothing too bad, but let's keep it going with another 2024 release, which was Suncoast. This one is my 2nd favorite 2024 release of the year. I ranked it an 80 out of 100, and even though this went pretty much exactly as I expected it to, I really enjoyed it. I thought the acting was pretty great. I love Woody Harrelson. And overall, I just had a fun time with it. I mean, I ranked it a 4-star, so I enjoyed it, obviously. But, yeah, and then my other bottom movie, I guess, of this week in the bottom 5 is Burn After Reading, which I watched last night. I ranked it an 81 out of 100. I thought it was pretty interesting. I really enjoyed it. I believe it's my first Coen Brothers watch, and I also think it's my first Frances McDormand watch, which was really surprising. But overall, I really liked the cast of the movie. I thought they were really fun together, and I really enjoyed the chemistry, especially between Frances McDormand and Brad Pitt. I really enjoyed them together, but overall, it was just a pretty good cast and a pretty good movie. So up next, that Mel and I watched together was Cars 3. And obviously, in last week's video, I had mentioned that we had watched the first two Cars together. We both watched the third together, obviously, as well. And
yeah. I haven't rewatched them in a while, and I didn't think I liked this one that much, but I was definitely wrong. I absolutely loved this movie. This was a tearjerker. I definitely cried at the end. Rest in peace, Doc Hudson. This was just a beautiful movie. I definitely liked it more than the second one, which was surprising because I thought I would have liked the second one better, but...
Mel was always under the impression that the second was her favorite.
And then I was like, this is the worst one. And then I was like, the third is so much better.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy we got to watch those. This is probably one of my favorite trilogies, honestly.
Yeah, I had raised Cars 3 from an 84 to an 85. So I raised it a little bit. I know you and I are higher on Cars 3 and just the Cars trilogy than a lot of people. A lot of people think it's overrated, especially the first one. But I just disagree. I really disagree.
So good.
So up next, we had watched Zootopia, and this one's a special one, of course. This is Mel's favorite movie of all time. This is the second time we've gotten to watch it together, and we watched it for her birthday this week, because Mel is now 21 years old.
Thanks, guys. I know everybody's singing happy birthday on the other side of the screen. This is my favorite movie ever. I was so excited we got to watch it again. This is not a movie that I watch often because I'm scared if I watch it too often, I won't like it as much. So I kind of keep it like a 2 to 3 time a year kind of basis. This movie just has everything you will ever need in it. True crime, love, sadness, funny, music, hope, and Nick Wilde. So honestly, it's just a classic. This movie brings me joy every single time, and I just love watching it.
Fair enough.
How about for you?
I actually raised it. I had originally ranked it an 84 out of 100, and I raised it up to an 87 out of 100. So, it's not a perfect 100 out of 100 for Mel, or like Mel for it is myself. That made no sense. Anyways, 87.
I knew what you meant.
100. But yeah,
obviously, I should say the numbers too. Cars 3 I put at an 85 out of 100, by the way. I forgot that I also do numbers now. Ethan has convinced me.
I didn't convince you. This was your own doing.
I know, but you know how my numbers make
no sense, yes.
I actually have this at a 10,000 million out of 10.
I think it was actually 100 million or 10 million.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, out of 10. Alright, up next we watched Incredibles 2, which Mel and I are indifferent on The Incredibles. We both really enjoy both of them, but I enjoy the first one more, and Mel enjoys the second one more, so...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing genuinely... Wait, are we talking about the second one right now?
Yeah.
I really love the Jack development in this movie, and I think this is what makes it so good for me. Auntie Edna also is just really iconic. I have this at a 90 out of 100.
I have it at an 88. So I had lowered it because I previously watched it and I had it at a 93. Yeah, I'm gonna fix it in a sec. I previously had it at a 93.
I was like, I look white and pasty all of a sudden.
No, that's just you.
Oh.
Me too.
Direct heads, Ethan.
Yeah, so I previously had it at a 93 out of 100. I lowered it to an 88. I still think it's great. I just don't think it's as good as the first, and Mel disagrees. She thinks it's better than the first.
Sorry.
All right, there. That should be better now. Let's move on to Mulan, which this is actually a first-time watch for myself, believe it or not. In my 22 and a half years of living, I've never watched Mulan.
It's insanity.
So, yeah, we decided yesterday that we want to watch all the Disney princess movies, and we started it with Mulan. Mel has been talking about this one a lot
I
recently,
absolutely
and she's always loved it.
love
so
this movie.
She's watched it a few times and she loves it. And I actually ranked it higher than she did. So
Yeah.
I ranked it a 92 out of 100.
I have it at an 86 out of 100. This is just really good. The score is actually really beautiful in this movie, which the music is really good. I love the storyline. I think the storyline is so ahead of its time, and I love that for that. For moving, is it 1999?
98, I think it was.
98. Like, just a movie about women empowerment in 1998. It's kind of iconic, and I think it's so good. And I knew Ethan was gonna enjoy this one as a Disney princess movie. It's a bit more his style of a Disney princess movie, I would say. So I definitely think
Tangled's my favorite Disney princess.
Yeah, but you're gonna. I guarantee. I'm saying this right now. He's excited to watch Cinderella. You're gonna find it really boring.
I just want to watch it because it's Kenneth Branagh that directed the live action one. I don't think I'm gonna love it, but I just want to watch it.
Yeah.
So.
But
yeah, this is gonna be fun when we eventually go through this together because there's some that I've seen that Mel hasn't seen, and there's most of the ones Mel have seen, but there's some that she's seen that I haven't seen, obviously. Yeah. So like Cinderella, for example, and I've seen Moana. She hasn't seen Moana. I've seen Tangled. She hasn't seen Tangled
in a long time.
So yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
We're gonna go through everyone as well. We're gonna watch live action remakes. We're gonna watch sequels.
I learned yesterday that there are so many stupid sequels that you would have never thought existed. Because I know you went through the Aladdins.
I knew that there was a trilogy of the Aladdins, and man,
I don't want to. Since when? There's a second Little Mermaid. There's a second
There's a third,
Mulan.
Remember? We found two. And a sing-along.
I literally can't.
But yeah, we learned that there was a second Mulan yesterday, which we didn't know.
I was like, what? I was like, I'm scared to even watch them.
Oh, and that was the same thing with Aladdin. Like, the first one is so good, but the other two are so ass. You can combine my two scores of the second and the third, and they still don't equal up to what what the first one is.
So yeah. Enough about Disney princesses and how much we love them.
So the final three movies for the week are all 100 out of 100s for myself. They are three of my favorite movies of all time. Two of them are.
Not three.
But at number 3 for both of us, it actually is the same order, our top 3, I believe. At number 3 for both of us is The Incredibles. So this is the movie I grew up on, and this is probably why superheroes, comic book movies, and whatever is my favorite genre of film today, because this is one of my biggest childhood watches, one of my most watched movies ever. Yeah, a 100 out of 100 for myself. It's just always been one of my favorite childhood movies, and I do think it holds up still. We had talked about the animation. We don't think the animation is the greatest, especially compared to some other movies around that time.
But it holds up better than a lot of other movies, like
We are both low on the first Toy Story. I still enjoy it, but Mel really doesn't like the first Toy Story. And I really don't think the animation in the first Toy Story is great.
No, I think it's not good. I think when you watch that, then you kind of watch Incredibles, because to me, like, it's around that time, like, similarly.
It's not, to be fair.
It's
like a 10-year difference.
I know, but in my head, it's just, like, they're both kind of same amount, like, same times in my childhood, where I'm like, The Incredibles just holds up a lot better. I also watch The Incredibles way more, but... For me personally, I prefer the second Incredibles. I'm not sure what it is. The more I think about it, I don't think I really love the villain in the first one.
Syndrome is so good.
I know.
I prefer
I'm
Syndrome.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was just something about the second one that kind of... I think I literally only put it a point higher, let's be honest. I think I have one at an 89 and one at a 90.
You have the first one at an 89 and then the second one at a 90, so...
It's just like a teensy bit, and I honestly think it is just because of Jack.
You know, and you're not the only person to think that, because again, like I had mentioned to you, I remember when I seen Incredibles 2 in theaters with my entire family, I literally was like, I honestly think that might be better than the first, and Austin thinks it's better than the first, but every time I rewatch it, it just goes down, and I just think the first is so much better, so that's just the way it
Definitely
is for
think
me,
they're both great and iconic movies.
Agreed.
And... Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to... Can you also put pictures of my letterbox thing?
I was just thinking about putting yours up instead of mine.
I write a lot more interesting things than Ethan. Oh, I'm going to get canceled for a lot of the things that I write on my shit.
I don't think so. I think you're fine. Anyways, our number 2 for the week is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which This has been one I've been wanting to watch with Mel for a long time. I've already watched it twice this year, and I think I had said it in the video last month when I watched it, but I didn't watch Shang-Chi last year, which really surprised me when I learned that, because I just never watched it in 2023, which I didn't know, and then I just feel really bad. So I've watched it twice now already this year, and then I completely, like, when I watched it last month, I fully thought I was lowering it to like a 97, 98, 99, and then I was just floored by it again. I just love the movie so fucking much. So it's still 100 out of 100 for me, and again, every time I rewatch it, my love for it just grows again. And obviously it was your first time watching it, so...
Yeah, it was a first time watch for me, and I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it was, and I think Ethan was very proud. I was in awe the whole time. The storyline was really interesting. Simu did a really good job playing Shang-Chi. I love Michelle Yeoh. She was iconic as always. I personally love Awkwafina. I know Ethan does not, and he tells me all the time he thinks about lowering it just because Awkwafina.
Literally, I'm just not a big fan of Awkwafina. I don't even know why. Like, unfortunately, you just have like you just have like icks towards celebrities, and even if I
definitely have icks.
Even if it's nothing they've done, you just don't like someone, and that's literally what it is. Like, I have no reason to not like them.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about there's just something about her, I guess. But for a long time, I did have Shang-Chi ranked a 99 out of 100 because I didn't like Awkwafina, and I just got over it. And I do like her character, so it's obviously a 100 now. But
I also ranked this movie a 100 out of 100, which I think Ethan was very proud of. But I had no complaints about it. The place where the mom came from, it beautiful. Like, I think the animation looked fantastic in this movie. It looked so real.
Yeah, I think the CGI is great.
And the fight scenes were really cool. I appreciate, and Ethan knows this, I appreciate a fight scene where it actually looks like they're getting shred to pieces. Because if not, to me, it looks too fake. Certain Marvel and DC stunt fights that I'll see, I'll be like, looks really fake. The fighting scenes looked so good. I love seeing people get beat to shit. I think it's so entertaining.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you know this.
Yeah, I know, but that's a bit harsh.
Well...
But you know what? I mean, sticking with that beat, we might as well move on to number one. Both of our number ones for this week.
Yeah.
Both in our top 10 movies of all time. It's literally both in our top 4.
It's my number 2.
Yeah, it's her number 2. It was my number 2. It's been my number 3, but currently it's my number 4.
Whack.
But it's Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And when I learned, can you click on the actual movie for a sec? It's only a 3.7 on Letterboxd. Right?
That's wild.
An average of a 3.7 on Letterboxd.
So wild.
Which is so fucked up to me, man, because really the MCU only has one other movie that's better than that, in my opinion, and you don't think there's one that's better than The Winter Soldier. No. The only one that I think is better than The Winter Soldier is Infinity War. And I think it blows my mind that people don't agree. I know a lot of people love that movie and are so high on it, but it just pisses me off that almost the entire Guardians trilogy is ranked higher for most people, and some people have Iron Man above it, which is actually laughable to me. I don't think Endgame's better than it. I really don't think
This is not the place for me to start my opinions on the Iron Man. But anyways, Winter Soldier's great. I don't know,
this entire movie's just sex.
It's just, okay. We went there.
It's peak. It really is.
You're I was literally, I think I was sitting on
Mel gets
I get so into movies. Especially even Shang-Chi. I was literally oh my god. That's just me whenever I watch movies. And Winter Soldier just gets me in another way. I'm screaming. I'm standing up. I'm pacing around.
She's crying.
I'm crying. I did cry.
The Bucky reveal always gets her.
Oh, I cried. No, anyways, and when he saves Cap at the end, spoiler alert, just gets me going every time. Just so good. Also, Winter Soldier is my favorite character in the MCU.
And we both love the introduction of Falcon. We both love Anthony Mackie. So.
Love Anthony Mackie, love Falcon. This was a great way to introduce Falcon, I think, into the MCU. And then him, especially when you watch that movie, you kind of get more appreciation of why he is now Captain America instead of Winter Soldier. I think you see it. I don't know.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think that's just kind of been his whole arc, really, leading up to
Alexander
the
Pierce
Falcon
is a piece of
Soldier.
shit. Sorry, I had to mention that.
That's okay.
Did I write anything
mean,
interesting?
I don't know. Did you?
No. No, I just said Winter Soldier is daddy, so we're
Click,
just gonna end
click
it
on
there.
your previous review when we had watched it last summer.
How do you do that?
Because that
Activity.
one was funny. Just read it.
I said fire. Legit was coming for the whole thing. Bucky Barnes, daddy. Anthony Mackie, kind of hot, not gonna lie. Black Widow is queen shit. Fight scenes are killer. Also had lots of deaths. So R.E.P. to all the deados. Bucky Barnes could choke me with that metal arm and I would thank him. This movie makes my life better. 100 out of 100. Ethan, you cannot put that in there.
Why? People are going to know what you're into. It's metal arms.
No. I think all my reviews, I write extensive. I just write my daily thoughts.
Yeah. If it comes to
Ethan needs to write more. I've told him that for so long. I think if he would start writing more, and it would be like kind of funny stuff like I do.
You don't even read my reviews.
I do. Post one
No,
your
you
story.
don't. You never read them.
Not if it's a movie I didn't watch because I don't care.
How would you know? How would you know that?
Just end this here before I slap you.
Whoa. What did I do?
Okay.
Alright, well,
bye.
Thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
We both threw up the...
Oh, I thought you put up a one. Acknowledge my tribal chief.